The title of this presentation is Reading Between the Lines of UK AI Policy, National Security, Geopolitics, and the Strategic Reframing of Education. I'm Hiroyuki Ida from the University of Kitakyushu, Japan. This is the outline of this presentation. 1. Introduction. 2. Methodology. 3. Findings. 4. Future challenge. 5. Reference. Okay, let's go to introduction. This is some kind of background. So generative AI, for example, ChatGPT, has reshaped global debates on education since 2022. Most discussions emphasize educational innovation or academic integrity in especially higher education field. However, focusing on the UK presents a different trajectory. For example, AI is a strategic national asset, and AI is linked to national security and survival. So, drawing on these perspectives, this research explores this emerging policy narrative. Okay, let's dig into AI policy in the UK. So, the UK government moved with unprecedented speed to establish the AI Safety Institute in 2022, signaling a paradigm shift that prioritized national strategic interest over localized educational concerns. And the UK takes the national strategy first approach and suggests that discourse surrounding AI in higher education is increasingly being subsumed under a broader geopolitical framework. By analyzing the gap within UK policy documents, what is left unsaid and what is prioritized, this presentation argues that the securitization of AI has become a dominant force in shaping the future of knowledge and institutional autonomy. So the autonomy is the key word. And also, furthermore, the national attitude is reflected in educational document. So here's the excerpt from an Department of Education 2023. So the AI opportunity is hinted at the policy paper, Generative Artificial Intelligence or AI in Education, clearly states the responsible use of AI with due attention to data protection and intellectual property. So the data protection can be equal to security, and intellectual property is also related to some kind of security and protect other persons' rights. So, from this review, this study aims to provide a critical framework for examining the geopolitical dimensions of education, situating the current AI crisis in education within the larger context of state-led survival strategies in the age of global competition. So interestingly, this presentation focuses on the geopolitical aspect of the UK. So this is strongly related to the geography and the history. And upper left, so here's just a map. So UK is surrounded by Atlantic Ocean and North Sea and very close to Netherlands and Germany. So this is an kids national graphic. And also, when it comes to thinking about AI and UK, we cannot miss the intelligent network. So famously, Five Eyes. uh, USA, Japan, New Zealand, Australia, Canada, and UK. And the downside, the left side, and UK Carrier Strike Group development. And here is the map, Navy. So how can we draw a map from sea line from Japan to UK, etc. And also on the middle of the stage, so we have encountered various problems or issues or some kind of trouble here. Here's the Navy outlook. And also on the downside, on the right one, here's the geostrategy. The map is very interesting and a little bit complicated. So we are facing a very serious war between Russia and Ukraine. So participating in NATO is the key issue. And also, we are surrounded by various kinds of threats. And focusing on the UK is in the northern part of that, but dominated an empire in the 19th century and covered about one third of the world and geography. And also, one of the key concepts is in the Pacific, etc. So to sum up, UK is a strategic maritime location, a bridge between Europe and North Atlantic for trade, and also a leading security and intelligence partner, a key member of NATO and Five Eyes Alliance. And as you know, so UK left EU, and also global strategic engagement. Here is the very interesting and unique aspect of geopolitical features of the UK. Okay, let's move on to the methodology section. So, research design. This research employs a critical discourse analysis of UK AI policy documents published after the emergence of generative AI, mainly obtained from the online. So data sources mainly covers the Artificial Intelligence Sector Study 2027, published October 2024, and 2026 policy statement. Britain must secure greater control and leverage over AI to protect our national security in a fluctuated world. So as this data illustrates, so AI posits AI as a threat and some kind of tools that fluctuates the world. So as to analyze this document, the thematic close reading is employed and focusing on ontology of AI, how AI is defined and conceptualized, and also opportunities or risks, the discourse surrounding AI's transformative potential and associated risks, and national strategy, policy narratives. Narratives are keyword recently, and on managing AI risks and strengthening the UK's strategic position. So, based on that, this presentation aims to examine how the AI constructs AI policy discourse to maintain strategic agency in an increasingly fragmented geopolitical environment or a competitive geopolitical environment. Okay, let's move on to findings section. These 3 points are the major findings. 1. AI is no longer viewed only as an opportunity, it is increasingly framed as a national security challenge. 2. A UK policy has shifted from knowledge enhancement to security and national power. Three, risk governance combines legislation, research and development, investment, international cooperation, and public private partnership. This is highly related to an international politics rather than the narrow sense of education. Okay, let's dig into a future challenge. Okay, conclusion. UK AI policy had shifted from educational innovation to national security and strategic resilience. And also, higher education in the UK is increasingly posited as a strategic national asset rather than solely an educational institution. These are the features of UK higher education, and also we need to look at these aspects in the similar situations which has the geopolitical risks. Limitation. This study is based on policy document analysis and does not examine how these policies are implemented in universities, meaning that this research has focused upon the on a macro level or how society has accepted AI rather than on a micro level of AI use in the classroom. And the second point of limitation is that the findings focus on the UK context and may not be directly applicable to other countries. So this is the limitation, but this is the uniqueness of this research because, and as I said earlier, so geopolitical aspect of UK is itself is very unique. So we cannot separate this aspect. And the future challenge. So we need to investigate how UK universities interpret and implement national AI policies. So these documents are highly radical and to some extent and very and cater to the policy aspect. So we need to focus on how each universities understand these policies. And the second point, we need to compare AI policy discourses across different countries. So, repeatedly, UK itself is very unique position geographically and geopolitically, but we can compare and very similar situations like an former empire like an India and Australia, and also in very close countries like Netherlands, German, etc. And also, we need to explore how the growing emphasis on security influences academic autonomy, teaching, and learning. And these are the references. Okay, thank you very much for participating in this presentation.